Hey there, and welcome to 10 Films I Hate About You. My name is Katie, and this is the podcast where we watch random DVDs from my collection and decide whether to keep them or pass them on to another unsuspecting victim.
Liar.
Yeah, we've kept them all so far, whatever. In this special episode, though, we will break all of our previous promises. Firstly, we won't be watching a DVD from my collection. Secondly, we are focusing on 2 films instead of 1. Thirdly, last week I promised that there'd be no more Christmas films. Surprise! They're both Christmas films! And finally, I'm not just here with my fabulous partner, Kevin. That was him saying hello. I also have my partner in reviews, Charnstar.
Why, hello, that is me.
And his wonderful wife, Chanelle.
Hello.
Here with me today. Essentially, there's more people, more movies, and more Christmas.
More torture.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it depends on your definition of the word torture.
Exactly. So, what exactly is the purpose of this special? Well, we are entering a new decade, and this is a time in history where we have streaming services coming out of our ears. Seriously, Kevin and I are currently subscribed to 4.
You're subscribed.
Yeah.
I'm just piggybacking.
Yeah. But last night it was 5, then we had a free subscription end, so now it's 4. How many are you guys subscribed to?
We're 4, right?
4, yeah.
4,
Like,
yeah.
we're gonna have the same free subscription, but when
So you got what?
show
The
finishes.
Netflix,
Yep.
the Stan,
Of course.
Amazon.
Yeah, we've got Amazon.
We need to get Amazon. But then
Again.
that's another one.
What else is there?
We have the Foxtel,
Foxtel.
Foxtel Go.
but at the same time, I don't think we're paying for it.
That's
There's a
the
loophole.
best.
There's a loophole.
There's a loophole, and we have it. We don't know why.
Welcome to our podcast where you automatically divulge your loopholes to the world.
Oh yeah, of course.
At any rate, we want to help you save some money by throwing out a streaming service in the new year. And we thought the best way to do that was through a movie showdown. But how do we make this a fair fight? Why?
Don't watch any of them.
By finding 2 similarly titled films, of course. We've each done our homework and watched A Christmas Prince on Netflix and A Christmas Princess on Stan. We've also each decided which film is better, and we'll soon make our arguments for which streaming service should be tossed in the bin. But first, the blurbs. Seeing as it was released first in 2017, we'll start with A Christmas Prince. Christmas comes early for an aspiring young journalist when she's sent abroad to get the scoop on a dashing prince who's poised to be king. That's it. That's the whole blurb.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah, it's spot on, actually.
I just can't get over the verb,
Oh.
poised.
I mean, I
Poised?
think of all the words to describe what's going on in that film, I'd say poised is pretty accurate.
Okay. I'll settle for poised. Now for A Christmas Princess, which is a 2019 release.
Fresh.
Prince Jack is from a small European country and arrives in New York for a holiday dinner where he meets Jessica. A romance blossoms. So do the obstacles. Can Jessica land herself the best Christmas present of all? Her very own prince? Yes, that's the
Is
plot.
that it?
Well, it's longer than the other one, but I'm concerned by the wording where it says, arrives in New York for a holiday dinner where he meets Jessica. He doesn't meet her at the dinner.
No,
No.
he meets her on the street.
Yeah, the wording of that
In the
is
kitchen,
so...
actually.
In the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not supposed to be.
But anyway,
God damn it.
we will get to that. We will get to that. Okay, so shortly we are going to argue which streaming service should be chucked in the bin based on these 2 films. We will have 10 minutes or less to argue our cases. Each of us will have a case. And in case you haven't already guessed, this episode will contain spoilers for A Christmas Prince and A Christmas Princess. If you haven't seen either film yet, this is your last
Don't.
chance to check them out. We won't be holding back. Okay, so Kevin, you'll be kicking us off.
Kicking us off.
Are you ready? Your 10 minutes or less
More like kicking both movies off.
starts now.
So we watched the Christmas Prince first.
A Christmas Prince.
A Christmas
yes.
Prince. So just a bit of a recap. We got Prince Jack, aka John.
No,
No.
that's Princess.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No,
No.
he
Oh,
is
see,
Prince
this
Richard
is how crap
II.
both movies are. I've just amalgamated both of them.
No, you are referring to Prince Richard II.
Prince Dick. That's right.
Oh my god.
What?
Continue, carry on.
What country are they from? Aldovia?
Aldovia.
Aldovia. Doesn't exist. I tried to Google it, and the only thing that came up was, where is Aldovia from A Christmas Prince?
Where did you guys think it was? Because Chanelle said one place, and I was like, what?
I said, Eastern Europe?
I just thought somewhere in Europe. Somewhere vague with British accents.
Yeah, I was like, maybe England or something. I don't know.
It's like
Aldovia,
Aldo.
England.
Just quickly though, I think Aldovia is a much better name than Edgemont, which sounds like a suburban estate.
No, it's a
Like
country. It's country town in Victoria somewhere.
Oh, you googled that,
that
one
makes
too.
sense.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what to say about this movie. Really, like it was all predictable.
Well, which streaming service are we
Well, it's
checking out?
Netflix. Well, they're both crap. Those movies. Like I'm not taking sides here because like they can't even make up a good title. The acting wasn't that good, both of them. Especially A Christmas Princess. I think the best actor in that was the chef, Gideon Oliver. Or as the
yes.
mum would say, Gideon Oliver. She was just terrible.
You're going to get done for defamation here.
That's their fault.
Okay, keep going.
The kingdom of Edgemont is going to take us down.
So with The Christmas Prince, like the whole thing was predictable. He's royalty that doesn't want to be royalty really. Like he just wants to be one of the people.
He just wants to have a fake beard.
Yeah, fake beard and like, steals people's cabs and cool brother to what's her name? Emily. And then you got Emily, who's the younger sister of Richard. It's got to be the sass. She got a lot of pranks up her sleeve.
She has one prank. It's
With
all
one
mice related.
well, one mouse.
Yeah.
And then you got what's her name? Miss Anderson.
Are you talking about her undercover name?
Yeah, I don't know.
Amber is her real name. I can't remember what her undercover name is. I think it's Maria or something.
It was Martha Anderson, I believe.
Oh,
Martha.
she looks like a Martha.
You see how they got confused.
And then she's what? She pretended to be a tutor who doesn't know anything about maths. She can't even explain what an equation is. Like, equation stuffs. It's like
Equation-y type thingy,
Yeah,
I think of the
yeah,
words.
whatever it was.
When she could have just said equation, yes.
And she doesn't what? She doesn't leave her laptop like locked, obviously.
No, she did.
Oh, that's right. And she
But
figured out
she
the
left
password.
the password
They saw her
inside.
typing. The princess saw her typing it.
Emily saw her type.
Yeah.
So the princess and the tutor, I was gonna call them by their jobs. I forgot their names already. They got along, and then because the prince is close with his sister, so he had a soft spot for the tutor, who turns out to be a journalist. Oh. And then the sister made a deal with the tutor / journalist that she found out, but just stay with her or whatever, be her friend. See, I'm trying to think of both movies. I don't write notes. Whatever sticks by my memory is what's important, is what I believe. And
So far you're throwing out Netflix for stupid
Yeah.
acting and
stupid plot.
stupid plot. Predictable plot.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen so many movies like that in a while, for a long time.
Like A Christmas Princess.
Oh, there you go. There you
Segue.
go. Good segue.
Thanks.
But I think if I had to throw something out further, it would be Stan.
So you're throwing Netflix in the bin, but
Yeah.
you're throwing Stan straight to the dump.
Outside my house, trucks waiting, bin collection day, Stan's going straight in there. This movie was just so awful. Like, was her name Jessica? So Jessica's a chef, a budding chef with a diner that looks like a house. Like the whole restaurant looked like a house.
It might have been.
And then it started off while she's walking, and then she runs into this guy who sells magazines, who clearly doesn't know her name. He was like, "Hey,
Pretty sure
you."
Pretty sure he's called Al, but then I looked in the credits and he was called Newspaper Guy or something.
So they forgot his name too.
In the credits, but in the film they knew his name. Weird.
And then like she's struggling with her diner because all she serves is meatloaf and coffee.
Loaf of meat. And coffee.
I believe it was artisanal.
It's made with chicken stock instead of milk, apparently.
Which took me into a whole Googling all the recipes of
I didn't even know
meatloaf.
it was made of milk.
Nor did I. It's egg. It's not milk.
See, that's why she was doing it wrong in the first place.
Excuse me, Charnstar, have you been to culinary school?
Oh, well. Almost.
So she's got this sassy like attitude towards her. She's got what, 2 colleagues?
Yes, Ernie and Haley, maybe.
Yeah, whatever. And then
Oh my god.
and then the prince, his name's John or Jack.
Yes.
You know, however well you know him.
Hang on, I have the quote here. He says, "You can call me Jack. Other people call me John, but my friends call me Jack."
I like that they took a second to explain what a nickname is.
Yeah, I know. And he's organising a holiday dinner as per the blurb, and he's with this celebrity chef, which turns out to be an actual celebrity chef.
Yeah,
Funnily
I Googled
enough,
that.
well, he's not really a celebrity chef. He's more of that morning show. You know, there's like morning shows, and he comes in. It's like, oh, I'll show you what to cook for a holiday dinner. And apparently, like, you know, Prince Jack / John doesn't have many taste because he doesn't even know what a deconstructed was it?
I don't even know what was deconstructed.
Yeah,
I've forgotten.
Whatever it was
Yeah.
deconstructed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was also a tiny portion size.
It would taste better if it was constructed, as he says in the movie. But anyway, he runs into the restaurant because he smells what, the cookies?
He wanted to get a
newspaper.
newspaper.
That's right.
And
But there were none.
Yeah, there was no newspaper stands or anything.
They didn't drive past the guy.
They should have driven past Al.
He's just around the corner. Who's so excited to try the coffee and the cookies?
Yeah, he got out of the car for a newspaper, smelt the cookies, went into the restaurant.
Went straight into the kitchen of the restaurant.
No, to be fair, he knocked on the door first. It was like,
I'm pretty sure he knocked on the table.
yeah,
I
that's
was
it.
like, what are you doing?
And that shows the importance of having a bell.
Yeah, or having customers.
Customers would help too. Because then you'd actually have someone out the front to stop people from going in the kitchen.
Like, yeah, they say they're in New York. It didn't feel like New York.
Fun fact, it was. We
Was it?
Googled the location because there was one scene where they pulled up in front of Brisbane building.
Yeah.
And we were like, is that why it's an Australian guy? Gotta Google where the Brisbane building is. And no, it's in New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Must
I
have been,
googled,
like-
because they go to a small town at one point, and I could see the name of the cinema on there,
Yeah.
Aurora Cinema, and then I googled and I found a local newspaper from that place saying, "We made it!"
It's probably a
We're in
small
a
town in
film.
New York, like state of New York, not the city of New York.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I meant the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Like...
So you're saying, throw out Netflix, chuck it in the bin, throw out Stan.
Yeah,
don't
like,
care.
you know, they can't even sell us as to where this dude's from. You know?
Edgemont.
Edgemont. In Europe. He competes
Europe,
in the
Australia.
Junior Olympic ice skating championships or something, because he has royal responsibility.
Like, his accent's not consistent. Like...
I think it's consistent
Well,
with
he
the
tried.
Australian.
There's bits there where he tried to be English, and then he was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just gonna stick with what I know.
I thought
Australian.
he was just enunciating his words with an Australian accent.
But yeah,
I think so too.
you know, 10 minutes is not enough to really shit on these movies. But
I think you've done that very well. It's my turn now to talk about which streaming service I'm throwing out, and I'm throwing out Netflix for the record. Stan gets to stay because A Christmas Princess is far better than A Christmas Prince. Let me tell you why.
how many beers have
First of all, Amber. Let's analyze this character. Okay? She is a bad journalist.
Alright, so
I'm
we're
going-
talking about the Christmas Prince now.
Yeah, we're talking about A Christmas Prince. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why Amber is a bad journalist, first of all. First of all, her editor, her boss, I don't know, calls her into her office, and this is the quote that is said. She says, this isn't the quote. She says, "You're going to go to the Aldovia to check out the prince. He's about to become the king. It's really exciting. I need to send you in there." And Amber goes, "But me? Why?" And her boss says, "You're talented, hungry, smart. and none of my regular writers can go this week. Which tells me she's very bad at her job, and she was the only option available.
And no one cares about Aldovia.
Well, yeah.
Clearly.
Next reason why she's a bad journalist. Literally, a minute after this conversation occurs, she goes back into the bullpen. She's like, oh, journalist friends, I'm going to Aldovia. It's going to be amazing. And
She's got an accent now too, apparently.
yeah, she does. Anyway, they straight away have an unethical conversation about how hot the prince is and how she should hook up with him, and it's so unethical. You're not meant to do that as a journalist. You're meant to go in there, objectively assess the situation and report. You're not meant to plan to hook up with your
Maybe it's a
subject.
Daily Mail.
I did forget for a second there that you've got, like...
Yeah, journalist background.
Yeah,
I majored in journalism.
Maybe
that's
you're
why you know.
Amber.
That's why you know, oh,
It's
can't be having
unethical.
sex with any of them.
Exactly.
After
It's
you've
wrong.
written the thing.
Finally, the final reason why she's a poor journalist is, okay, while she's undercover in Aldovia, she manages to go undercover as a journalist, which is also kind of frowned upon most of the time. It's unethical, but whatever, we'll move on from that. She's taken pictures around the palace, and she has to be the worst secret photographer I've ever seen.
Yeah, she just pulls
Because,
out her phone.
first of all, she has her phone out at these, like, fancy functions when no one else has their phone out. Second of all, she's holding it up at her chest, and it very clearly looks like she's taking a picture. She's not surreptitiously pretending to send a text or anything. She's just taking pictures. And thirdly, she has the camera sound switched on. So every time she takes a picture, it's like, cha-ching, I just took a picture.
Oh, it sounds like a cash register too.
Worst journalist ever.
Quick
Okay.
question about that, though.
Yes.
Why didn't you take a video? I thought the whole point was that they were saying important things.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, let's take a photo of those important things being said.
A video might have been too obvious.
Ah, yes.
It wouldn't have had enough noise attached to it.
And she can't afford bloody professional shoes.
I'll get to that later. Okay, so those are all the reasons why she's a bad journalist. Now let's talk about why she's a criminal.
Wow.
First of all, breaking and entering. We witness this on film. She breaks into the palace, she enters the palace, and then she gets caught. And what does she do? More crimes to get out of the first crime, okay? I'm going to talk about property damage first.
Sorry.
First
another
of all-
crime and another crime cancel each other out.
There are many more crimes.
In Aldovia.
Okay. First of all, she breaks an urn. Now, you might say this was an accident. It was a vase. I don't know what it was. It was a large ornamental
that.
thing.
Ming Dynasty something.
It was expensive. You say accidental, I say reckless. She should not have been walking backwards in the palace. Of course, she was going to break something important. Secondly, she shoots an arrow through a window into a portrait. That would have cost a lot of money.
That was just terrible aim.
Thirdly, she breaks a Christmas gift, which is so against the spirit of Christmas. She pops open that acorn. I know that it was kind of made to be broken, but I'm going to call it
See,
reckless
that's another
property
thing too,
damage.
just to add to my point. Like, if it's an important document, why the hell is it in an acorn on a Christmas tree?
We'll get back to that later.
Yeah.
I want to talk about more reasons why she's a criminal. Oh, yes, Chanelle.
You'd think that the king would actually implement the law before and just leave it in the acorn.
It's like, alright, before I die, let me just write this note down. Anyone have any post? Nah, just put it in the tree.
Actually, this is great. You are adding to my points, and I love it.
Can I ask the riddle he left to let people know where this law was? It just says, like, it's in an acorn. And it took the whole movie to think, hey, we've only seen one acorn. It might be in that acorn.
It's a big ass acorn.
And it all worked out in the end. Next, I want to talk about fraud of the identity description. She pretends to be someone else. She also pretends to be a tutor. Fraud. Then we have some good old-fashioned horse theft, which, if this was old school times, she'd be up for a hanging for doing this.
Grand Theft Horsey.
Yes. And finally, she steals some documents because all of her other crimes weren't enough already. So, realistically, there should have been a very different ending to this film. He should not have proposed to her. They should have extradited her from America and put her in prison. I stand by that. And also she has questionable fashion sense. They tried to make the Converse thing cute. I'm all about Converse, they're great, but we didn't need a series of close-up shots and cheeky winks about her wearing Converse. Okay, I have a little bit of time left. Now I want to talk about strong, independent women.
Oh, Lord.
First of all, Amber gets offered a job, and the first thing she says is, "Are you sure?" She should have jumped on that. She should have been like, "Yeah, I'm going to take this job, and I'm going to do amazing things with it." No, instead she's like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do it." Do it, Amber. You're a strong, independent woman. Secondly, I want to talk about the wolf attack. Are they wolves? I don't know what they are. Anyway.
Yeah, they're wolves.
After...
Either that or huskies.
Yeah, something.
With a lot of rabies.
After Amber commits grand...
Theft horsey.
Thank you, Kevin. She loses the horse because she's a negligent horse thief. And she's wandering about in the snow like, no, how am I going to find my way back? When some kind of wolfy creature comes along and growls at her, her immediate response is not to, calmly pick up a stick, walk away, fight. I don't know. I'm not expecting her to, punch the wolf in the nose or anything. I don't want her to do that, but...
Isn't that a horror? Sorry.
Shark?
Isn't that a shark?
Hello, this is Shark Week.
But what I'm saying is, she had so many options, but what does Amber do? She sits down. She sits down in the snow and panics. Amber, no. Don't forget that you have legs at a time of crisis. Use those legs.
She was wearing Chuck Taylors.
Exactly.
They weren't snow boots.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, on to Jessica. Jessica owns her own business. She doesn't need a man. Everyone's trying to convince her to get a man. She doesn't need one. Her mum's like, Jessica, he's attractive. He's single. He's a prince. She's like, no, Mum.
You don't start with he's a prince.
She's like, no, Mum. I don't need a man. Also, she stands up to the king and queen of Edgemont, which, took some gumption. And she takes on the paparazzi. And you
all three of them.
Well, you might say all three of them. I say she took on the paparazzi and won.
Didn't try that hard.
And the final reason why a Christmas princess is better than a Christmas prince, and therefore why we're keeping Stan and throwing out Netflix, is because of all the Australians hidden throughout the film.
Support the local industry.
Hidden is such a strong word.
My favourite line of the entire film is when the Prince of Edgemont, Prince Jack, walks up to a small child who's sad and poor and says, "Merry Christmas, mate." The only thing that would have made it better is a good old g'day. Anyway, those are my reasons. Oh, one more thing. This is kind of against me, but I don't know. It's a funny line. It made no sense to me. At one point in The Christmas Princess, this line came out. It goes, "To be honest, I don't care about your mother. This is America. She can't make me eat cake." What? Did I just steal one of your points? And that created humour.
We debated a lot last night about what that meant.
Yes.
Because I was like, I thought, I mean, is it a Mary
Is it
Antoinette
like
thing?
you can't have your cake and eat it too, maybe?
Oh.
I thought that's what it was,
But
but
it
the meaning
didn't. I
wasn't
was
very...
like, where's the cake?
See, I thought it was the Mary Antoinette thing, how the queen said, let them have cake.
Yes.
But that was about a rich person not understanding poor people because they were like, oh, they don't have bread, let them eat cake instead. I don't think that was her trying to control the peasants going, eat all the cake, you bastards.
Mate.
Mate. Okay, Chanelle, you're 10 minutes or less.
Well, I have to start off by saying I am a woman of not too many words. But here is my reasons why I think we should keep Netflix. Now, I have to make a bit of a confession.
She loved both of them.
I'm a lover of love. I like a good rom-com. So this was probably the most in-depth I've ever actually watched a movie. And they were bad. Like, they were really, really bad. The rom was forced, and the com was even more forced. Now, the Christmas Prince. It was pretty bad, but I actually feel like it is the lesser of two evils. Sure, I guess it was kind of bad, but at least it was funny bad, not boring bad. Now, the Christmas Princess. This was on Stan, and it was very, how would you say? Crap. Terrible accents, horrible acting, a plot. Was there a plot?
Yeah, it's like, what are we gonna have for dinner? It's like the everyday plot.
There was so much food porn in that movie.
Yeah, actually
There was so much, and it kind of made me feel hungry. But despite all of this food porn, the movie actually left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Oh, boy. Put some salt in that shit.
Another point is when Jessica takes the prince to look at a portrait, and the portrait was of this independent, and I think it was independent and...
It's so independent. They just got it from Instagram.
An independent and defiant woman. And the prince gifts this to Jessica towards the end of the film. Now, when Jessica and the prince are together at the end of it, Jessica says all she wishes is for her to cook for him. And I was like, what? You're supposed to be this independent and defiant woman, yet you're saying that you want to cook for him every day.
Come on. Knocked down my argument in one point.
Now, in closing, I would like to keep Netflix because The Witcher just dropped, and we haven't even started that. So can we keep Netflix, please?
Damn it, Henry Cavill.
I also want to watch The Witcher
I wonder
before
why.
we throw Netflix in the bin.
But the thing is, if we throw it in the bin, we can still pick it up. But with Stan, it's already in the truck. Maybe Prince Jack is driving that truck too. I hope he is.
In that case, he'd be driving green screen, because when he's not driving, it's a real car.
Yeah,
when he's
that's
driving, obvious green screen. Look, I think you all made very good points, but I'd like to disagree with everyone, because I think we shouldn't throw away either of them. Both of these
here comes
films
the
have
Christmas
so
spirit.
much merit. I will say this with a straight face. So, first off...
He doesn't have a straight face, everyone. He's lying.
They don't know that. A Christmas Prince, boy oh boy. First off, there's 3 of them, so clearly they're doing something right. They're getting sequels out of it.
Yeah, it's like a Skywalker saga.
Side note, Charnstar will be reviewing number 3 shortly.
Without watching number 2 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's so much in the royal wedding that I'm gonna miss.
You have the initial context.
What
fine.
if it's like the Empire Strikes Back of the Christmas Prince saga?
Well, the only thing I know so far about the third one is that a curse is involved, and after watching the first one, I don't see how a curse is involved. Either way, I'm excited. So, A Christmas Prince, it's a classic love story. It's generic, maybe, but it was fun. You can't deny that we all laughed during it.
In what more ways than the usual laughter?
I mean, sure, I don't think there was any real Christmas in A Christmas Prince, like, at all.
Well, the coronation was Christmas Eve. It had fairy lights in the
Yeah,
background.
there were a lot of
I was
fairy
like, what
lights.
type of royal family? It was like, this is going to be a very eventful night. Fairy lights everywhere.
I do want to see how, because the only Christmas lights they had were fairy lights, and I really want to see what it looks like on all the other castles. Like, all the other castles out in the world, do they just put fairy lights up like they do just fairy light streamers?
Yeah.
So everyone knows, oh yeah, definitely Christmas. I did think, like, there was a lot of, like, depth in the film. For example, when we, spoiler alert, found out that Prince Richard
the second?
II is actually an orphan, it makes a lot of sense. It was hinted at because he was so loving towards all the other orphans.
Oh!
It was because deep down he was an orphan all along.
Oh my god. Okay.
Deep.
Don't encourage any more people to make these movies, please.
I'm looking forward to the fourth one. After the baby, it'll be, I don't know, a Christmas divorce.
And the baby will be an orphan.
Yeah. Secondly, by the end, he becomes King Richard II, which is arguably one of the most interesting kings of England. Right? He did have a Shakespeare play written about him, but it wasn't the interesting one. I believe he was French, and then he became the English prince because, like, that was between rebellions. So history is mildly referenced in a way. Secondly, it was like a better version of 50 Shades of Grey. Straight up at the first scene where they're like, oh, better go to the boss. You've got an important interview with some rich guy. I was like, I got it. It's 50 Shades.
50 Shades of Christmas.
Oh my.
It was the crossover we were all looking for. And, you know, I had a good time. I laughed a lot. I'd like to give thanks to the... What was it called? The Motion Picture Corporation of America, which might be the most generic name of any production company. It's like calling yourself the movie company because we make movies. But hey, look, they're giving it to us straight. You know what they do? They're motion pictures. I love it. I love
From
it.
America.
From America, yes.
Not Aldovia.
Not Aldovia. Also, they reference in A Night Before Christmas. They reference Aldovia. Yeah, so there's more than one prince.
So A Night Before Christmas with the K.
Yes.
Okay.
They have the acorn, which also may have been why I knew that the acorn was important. Because I was like,
Easter eggs. Here we
When
go.
you said A Night Before Christmas with a K, I thought you meant Christmas with a K. And I was like, what?
Okay. It's like
Great.
Kevin with a K.
Yeah.
and then let's go on to a Christmas Princess
Yes.
on Stan, which was also just as good.
Absolutely.
I laughed just as much.
10 out of 10.
Great thing about Christmas Prince, did a little bit of Christmas Princess. I did a bit of Googling, and it turns out that they used the exact same camera and lenses that I used on my own very first short film.
Oh, pandering.
Sorry, that was L plates.
L plates available on Vimeo or something. I don't actually know where you can find L plates. But
Wow, this is good plugs.
It is on Vimeo.
Great,
I know
thanks.
because I've shared it for you.
brilliant, thank you. You can scroll down on Facebook and find it probably. So yeah, I had the ability to create something as good as a Christmas Princess. It was very clear that the film didn't have as much of a budget as the first one,
Yeah.
but they used really creative filmmaking to hide the fact that they were very clearly just
In a house.
In a house. The fact that the royal family's castle was so very clearly just a house.
Yeah. It looked like a townhouse. Like you
Yeah.
could see the townhouse steps behind them. I was like, what?
He was just out, doing his tennis or whatever it was. Was it tennis?
Yeah, it was tennis. Yeah.
Because he did the
Oh yeah,
moves.
very important things. You say the accents were bad. They were hilarious.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We
100%.
all mocked them. When I
Yeah.
messaged you guys saying that we were mocking them, you messed back saying you were mocking them too. We had a spiritual moment where we all connected on mocking the bad accents of this film. Going through and just like looking at all the cast, there was like a lot of like the ex-girlfriend who also great accent. One
She's
scene
Australian.
of
Yeah.
she's not only Australian, she is Prince Jack's real husband, which is pretty clear as to why she got
Real
the job.
wife.
Real wife, yeah, sorry, that one.
Right.
Wow.
I did not go that deep in my research. I saw they were both from
From
Neighbours.
Neighbours, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, Neighbours, royalty, here we go.
Yeah, but that's, I'm pretty sure, why she got the job and not her amazing porno actor skills.
I guess it's okay. She looked like poor man's Hilary Duff.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I can see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, I felt that was every actor in both of the movies. It was like, oh yeah, like the prince in Christmas Prince was a poor man's Ted Levine mixed with the guy from that show you like.
Oh, Outlander.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an insult.
On that note, and just like pausing on your time for a moment, Charnstar, I'm really depressed that we couldn't watch the Sam Heughan Christmas version of such things. I believe it's called A Christmas with a Prince or something.
Christmas Outlander.
Yeah. Released in 2011, not available on either streaming service. Very disappointing because that would have been the
Softcore
third
Christmas
one
porn.
to
I guess that'll be the
pit
sequel
in.
for next year.
Yeah,
When we
next
decide to
year.
get rid of, I don't know, Amazon Prime or whatever else it would be on.
Yeah.
What else was there? There was so much. There was so much to take. The kid's dad was in the army and he was overseas.
No, but even better. At the end, when Prince Jack was like, it's alright, kid. Here's the $3 mirror that you broke earlier.
Keep the change, he says.
And then straight away, the kid just turns around and gives it to his mom.
Yeah.
It's not even like he pretended like, oh yeah, I got this for you. The prince got it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh
And
my
then
God.
and then after giving him this great present, and the mum loved it, the prince one-upped him by going, oh, also your dad's back.
Yeah.
Boom.
And you know what? This moment actually irritated me. I still say we throw out Netflix. But I was really annoyed by the fact that they didn't kind of build the music or, you know, do some kind
No,
of
there was just-
long shot where Dad entered, like you could see him entering from afar and the tension
There was just
builds.
a basic commentary
He just-
by the prince.
Yeah, he just came around the corner and it was like, oh, Dad's back. He's back from overseas
To
fighting.
be fair, they couldn't afford a long shot.
Yeah.
They couldn't even afford a proper banquet. What another thing to like pull apart from this movie that's so much fun is all of the B-roll was clearly like from some website because none of it matched anything they did.
Yeah, that's the thing with the food. The
Yeah.
food they had, like, she was like, "Oh, we only have 3 people," and then when they showed all the B-roll, the food was like, they made all this food, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have enough stuff."
What was the bit with the cookie at the start?
I can't remember.
It's not on your
happened?
notes. You have
What's
so
not
many
in my
notes.
Oh no.
Where they had all the B-roll.
Oh yeah, they had the most amazing food on the screen. They're like prawns and baked goods, and then
Yeah.
it cuts to the main girl, and she's bringing out the most bland-looking cookies. And I'm like,
Ah, it was beautiful. And then at the end, when it like shows them setting up, and it's ooh shit, and then it cuts to what it really is, and it's completely different colors, completely different place. Everyone was apparently eating in the B-roll, but now no one's eating in the. No one's even got to the food yet. Ah, it was
And I love it during the banquet where like Jessica was in her chef attire. He's just like, "You look lovely tonight." And she's just giving him a look, and I'm in my work clothes, you idiot.
Because I honestly thought that Christmas Princess was going to be more of a rip-off of a Christmas Prince, but it really wasn't,
Yeah.
except for that one moment. They both had the same moment where they walk out and everyone looks at her, and it's like the moment stops. And in Christmas Prince, it's because she just had a really mediocre makeover, and she was like, "Why is everyone looking at me? It's because you're perfect." And in a Christmas
Actually,
Prince...
I thought it was because she entered in the wrong way. Everyone else is coming through the front door. She enters from inside. I was like, no wonder they're all looking at you, you idiot.
That actually makes a lot of sense. But then, in A Christmas Princess, they have the same moment where, like, everyone looks at her and she comes out and she's just in a chef outfit. That's all. I don't know what else to say other than, we need to keep these. We had a good time. We laughed. It brought us together. The true spirit of
Oh
Christmas.
Lord, he's right.
The sad thing about all of this is we all evened each other out. What do we
Well,
do?
great. I didn't have any good points because I was just like, man, yeah, we all had a Christmas lunch yesterday. Oh yeah, the day before. It's like, oh man, this is gonna be great. I'm not for Christmas movies. I'm not a big Christmas movie guy. I was like, you know what? Looking forward to these Christmas movies. I've had a good Christmas spirit all weekend. Then boom.
Which makes me sad because when I go to watch a good Christmas film with you, you'll be like, ooh, I can't.
Yeah, it's just like PTSD of like this terrible accent from the mum of Prince Jack.
I wish I could do an interpretation, but
Oh,
I can't.
Just put a peg on your nose, and that's how you can talk.
You have to make sure every time you pronounce something, it's
Aw.
pronounced completely different.
I think the best one was it Richard Oliver?
No, Gideon. Gideon Oliver.
Yeah, Gideon Oliver. Anywho, we'd love to hear your feedback on this episode and what you think of A Christmas Prince and A Christmas Princess, because obviously you've seen both of them. Let us know.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
After hearing this, I feel like everyone should go out. If you didn't,
Buy a DVD copy of each.
Somewhere.
Double subscribe to Netflix and Stan.
After you've watched them both, hop on our Facebook, Inconceivable Reviews, let us know what you think, or check us out on Instagram, Inconceivable Reviews Official. We also have a website, www.inconceivablereviews.com. There you'll find weekly reviews by Charnstar and myself. He's recently reviewed The Rise of Skywalker and has many opinions. I've recently reviewed The Queen's Corgi, which is
Just as
Equally as
poetic.
Exactly. Thanks very much for listening, guys.
Bye. Merry Christmas. Boxing Day.
Bye.
What they said.